Belfast is a city of stories, and particularly at the end of the 1960s, it went through an incredible, tumultuous phase in its history, very dramatic, sometimes very violent, and I and my family were part of that. And it was always, for me, a story of our time in that city that would come to the surface when thinking about writing something about Ireland, that period in Belfast. There was always a story about the point in anybody's life, male or female, where there is a sort of crossover into the world of adulthood, where innocence is lost and where new responsibilities, sometimes new worries, are found. And that moment, capturing that moment of crossover, which is, in this case, Jude Hill, does an excellent job in the film, and who we seem to find at a moment where his talent was ready to both blossom at the same time as Jude himself was in the best possible way, ordinarily enjoying himself as a 10-year-old boy. So football for him in the film and on the streets was as important and enjoyable as making the movie. We wanted that. We didn't want somebody who was suddenly decided they were a big movie star. But at the same time, he was very serious, very prepared, very open, very flexible. Somehow you need this curious combination. Could you just be yourself, and also could you make all these tiny adjustments I'm asking you to do that might be difficult for an actor with many decades of experience? And in the process of him doing the latter, you don't want to change him from the beautiful original. As always, those who surround him, families, and in this case colleagues on the film, become critical. They're critical influences, and in this case they were so wise and compassionate, and he himself is kind of older than his years, a quality that is great for the part, and he turned out to be a real winner for us. Well, we wanted a level of authenticity. So Jamie Dornan is a real Belfast boy. He's just outside Belfast in Hollywood, County Down, and Kieran Hines, who plays Pop, was brought up a mile from where I lived, so we practically could have shouted at each other from house to house. Katrina Balfe from the south of Ireland, but has a great understanding of the sort of vernacular Irish extended family life. And then Judi Dench, who has a lot of Irish blood in her, is the thoroughbred who can sort of do anything and attracts many actors because they so want to work with her. And this group of actors gave it, plus a sort of sense of energy, real sort of front-footed energy that I liked. There was an outgoing quality that meant they became a family very quickly, and that, frankly, one of the elements of lockdown, which was the bubble in which people had to live, was very good for engendering a sense of family, which was so key to what we were after, and this film benefited from it. In Belfast, there's a spirit and a vitality in the place itself that I hope is reflected in this film. And I think it's a spirit and a vitality and a humour which I think is very life-affirming. And I hope that people feel that the joy and sometimes the sorrows of what happens in that city, and in this particular case in the life of this family in this street, are something that they can recognise and perhaps sympathise with, be compassionate about, and to some extent be consoled when it comes to some of the difficult decisions in their own lives, perhaps to see.
My ma says if we went across the water, they wouldn't understand the way we talk.
If they can't understand you, then they're not listening. I've been married to your granny for 50 years. I've never understood a word you said.
This is the time to make a new start.
I know nothing else but Belfast. Go now. Don't look back.
I want my family with me. I want you.
ベルファスト